So back in autumn, I tried a new experiment of trying to pollinate my Echeveria Big Red with two other smaller Echeverias. One was a Mont Blanc and the other is an Amastar. So hybrids is something I try and do every year. I love experimenting and I love seeing the results. Obviously, it does take years really to get the end result, but it's such a fascinating process and it's something that I'm really passionate about. So I just wanted to film this for you to show you how I do it really step by step. I have got other videos of this, so check them out if you are interested. But it's just something I like to share every time because I find that each plant can be quite different with the results. And this I did in less than perfect circumstances. It was the end of autumn and the conditions were quite damp after I did the pollinating, so I found that quite interesting. It's something I've not done before. Usually I pollinate in the spring and summer and I get the results and get the seeds kind of harvested before the end of the growing season, should we say. And yeah, I just found it quite interesting to see what happens when autumn hits and the dampness kind of hits it. So it's something that I wanted to share with you. So let's get into it now. Let's have a look what happened, and then you can see the end result to see if we were able to harvest any seeds. When choosing a bloom, you need to make sure it looks quite like this. It's very open. You can see the pollen there. So the pollen is produced and stored in the anther, which is on the end of the filament, which is a tall part around the outside of that bloom. So it needs to be collected and then it needs to be moved to the stigma, which is the middle part of the plant. So when you're doing that, you just need to be quite careful. You don't want to damage the bloom in any way because that can affect the pollination process. So once you've collected that pollen, I'm just using a paintbrush here to do so. You'll be able to see the pollen on the end of the paintbrush, and then what you need to do is just move it onto the stigma. This is the part of the plant in the middle which is really sticky, so that stickiness attracts the pollen and makes it stay there, which is how the plant pollinates and produces them beautiful seeds. So what I have tried this time is to use a piece of cotton around my bloom, because previously when I've done any pollinating I have used colour-coded stickers which can come off when the greenhouse is hot, the plant gets blown away and things by the wind. So this time I have used some cotton, so I'm just colour coordinating the blooms so I can see which ones I've done. I'm just taking notes of that on my phone, and it just helps a lot later on when you are checking back to see the results. So this process I just repeat between different blooms from the two plants that I've chosen. So I've done the Big Red and a Mont Blanc, so I'm just making sure that I keep repeating as much as I can, and I'm also trying two different techniques in this video. I'm trying a paintbrush technique, which you've just seen, and also with a needle. So this is something I've not done before, and it just looks like you can collect a little bit more pollen on the needle and be a bit more precise in where you're placing it. Sometimes I think when you have a paintbrush, I use obviously quite a big one in this video, but you can use smaller ones, but it just seems to sometimes damage the plant a little bit and just be a bit aggressive. So I thought with this needle you can collect a really huge amount of pollen. You can see it there on the needle, there's a lot, and then you can really strategically place it onto the stigma, which is obviously where it needs to be for the plant to do its thing to pollinate. So that's what I'm trying this time, and we will check back to see what the results are. But you can see really how well you're able to be quite precise with that needle and get it in the right place basically. So this can make even more seeds than maybe a paintbrush, and yeah, I'm just excited to see what happens. So what happens next? It's a really important question and something that I was never really clear of. I could never find any information online. So it's basically just a waiting game. Nothing will change on the plant. The blooms will look different, but it can take up to a month. So the pods will slowly close up. And if you have been successful, they can become quite bulbous. You'll see they are a lot more kind of thicker. If they're not successful, they will just go quite thin and dry out, and you won't be able to see really any ripeness to that bloom. So it's something to look out for, and it does vary between each Echeveria. So I would just mention, even if they don't look ripe, it's always worth trying to harvest the seeds and just see what you've got in these blooms. So this is what the bloom looks like now. This is one of them. As you can see, it's all closed up. The only thing which is probably slightly different is I don't usually do this in autumn winter time, and it is now November. So yeah, I don't know if that makes any difference with these. I would have thought so a little bit. This is another one, so they're both quite closed up at the moment. We've got another one down here as well. So I would say it's really handy me putting the cotton on them so I can see them very clearly. But yeah, I will do another update and see what happens over the next probably month or so. This is the Amstar, and unfortunately the pods look very empty. I don't think these have been successful, but like I say, we'll check anyway to see what happens. So it's been 2 months, and really the conditions this time of year for pollinating succulents is not ideal. Because it's very damp in the UK. So basically this is what I've got left from what we've done before, so the pollinating, and you can see that they've all gone a bit dark really. So these ones over here are looking the same. However, I will just have a look to see what's going on, because basically once I pollinated it, we had loads and loads of rain, so these just got really damp. Like some of these pods here have got a lot of kind of mildew on them. So what I'm going to do is just remove the pods which I pollinated with obviously the colour coding, make sure I don't get them confused. So these are the seed pods which I've just collected. They don't look very promising to me, but the only way to find out is to have a look in the seed pods obviously. So we've got a piece of white paper here. I need to make sure I don't get confused. So this one here is a yellow one. So what they would normally do in the right time of year when it's not damp is, once the seeds were viable, if they were successful, the seed pod would then pop open and release all of the seeds. However, because it's so damp at the moment, I don't think, like these are rock solid, I don't think it would have the chance to do that. So I'm just going to break them open myself and have a look. Basically, I think you can probably see there's a little bit of mildew in here, or fungus. I'm not very good with the terms, but if you look at these pods in here, they are green. So unless I'm just being impatient and it takes a lot longer in this time of year, but tempted to remove all this stuff and let them dry out inside for a bit. I might have to do some more research. It's always fun when you find something new out which you haven't done before. I love learning about this hobby. But yeah, they just look interesting, don't they? Green bulbous pods there. So I'm going to do some research and get back to you. So 2 weeks later, and we have the very, very dried and actually very crispy seed pods here. So I don't know if these are successful. I'm now going to open up and have a look. That one kind of has popped like a successful one would, and this one has stayed quite, I'm just throwing it around, quite compact there. So not too sure. I'm literally just swinging these about now. So anyway, let's have a look. Let's get a piece of paper. I've just made some creases in this, and I need to get rid of this thread. Obviously the thread is really important to tell me which plant I've pollinated it with. However, it's also making it very fiddly. So I am going to sprinkle this and see what happens. It's so hard sometimes to tell if it's seeds or plant matter. So let's have a look what we've got in here. They're really hard. I've never really done much pollinating this time of year. However, so that's what's left. But if you look on here, there are some really light bits here which are plant matter. And obviously these are just bits of the plant. But I think in here there are some little seeds. The darker specks in there look like seeds to me. So it's going to be difficult because I need to sieve this to get rid of the fluff. Some people sit there for ages and pick them out with tweezers. I am tempted to, you know, just because I don't want all this stuff to go into the soil, because it can make fungus grow. It can make it just not a very good sterile environment for the seeds. But there's definitely some seeds in here, the darker ones, so I could probably pick them out. I'm going to have a think about it and see what I want to do, but I'm definitely hopeful that something has pollinated here, and we've got some kind of seeds growing, which is amazing. You can probably see a little bit better down here. We've got the darker seeds, and then these are all the light bits up here, so you can see the difference between them. So it might be, I say easy, but okay for me to pick out. When I first started growing from seed, obviously very little information that I had, I used to sit there and I had a tray of kind of really tiny little cells, and I used to get a skewer and kind of dampen the tip and pick up a seed and put it in the cell and repeat that. And I did that because I used to buy like 10 seeds at a time from Etsy and things, and I actually used to have a really good kind of success rate with it because I was so careful at putting them in. It was one at a time, so obviously there was no other bits and bobs going in there. It was just the seeds on their own, and they had lots of room, and it really worked. So I'm quite tempted to try it again, although people did laugh at me in the past, like, what have you done? But do you know what? It worked. And I've got some beautiful succulents which are about 5 years old now from those seeds. So who's laughing now? So that's number one. I'm just going to fold that up for now and pop that over here. And then number two, I don't think this has been successful just by the look of the pod, but you just never know. It's so hard to tell. I've got some Lowies and some probably Canties, which just never look like they are kind of bulbous and full of seeds, but they have been some of the ones which have been most successful. So it's always worth just trying. Let's crack this open. I might literally crack it and see what happens. Oh, see, I think there's seeds in here. Obviously, the thing is with seeds as well, they might not always be viable. Like the plant can make seeds, but they might not be viable seeds, if that makes sense. It's just Mother Nature at her best. There's definitely dark specks in there which look good. Quite a few of them actually. And that's where we are so far. So although the conditions weren't ideal and not everything went perfectly, it's been a really interesting process to document. So the next step and the next challenge is to see if the seeds germinate. I'm going to sow some very soon, and I will do a part 2 of this video to show you that process and what I'm doing. Hopefully they will germinate, fingers crossed, and I can give you some really good news and hopefully continue to grow and do maybe a mini series of this lovely little hybrid that we're hopefully going to make. The challenge I'm really having at the minute is winter time, so it's not the best time of year to sow seeds. So I will do some, but I will also hold some back for spring and summer, so I can just try and just see if different conditions work better and if they germinate at all. Who knows? We'll see. It's really exciting. I cannot wait to see what happens. So if there's something you want to see, please do subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it, and you'll get notified of that update when it's live. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.